Hi guys, it's time again for us to look at the possibility of winning games via sports betting. Not an easy task. Not an easy task. There is no easy way out of this, but there are a few tactics you can explore and see how they work. That's just all I can say. There is no, sometimes you hear people say, I am sure I can give you 10 guaranteed games. There are no guarantees in sports betting. There are no guarantees. But then there are systemic ways, to win in sports betting. When the season starts properly, what I mean by that is when all the teams in the league, all the different leagues have started. Maybe we could explore some options, and at that time we'll be having we'll have a situation where we'll do, for each day we'll have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. Now what that means is we'll have a semi-guaranteed 5 games bet, and then we'll go to the 10 games bet, and then I'll do the regular what's called bet advice, so that you look at the options that are available to you and decide which one is best for you. That's very, very important. And sometimes I might repeat some tips. But then talking about repeating tips, now let me mention something that I've noticed that a lot of people do. You're doing for more bet slips, and you're putting the same team on all of them because you're very sure that they would win. Let me give you a very good example. Leicester City yesterday. I met a guy who, in the evening yesterday while I went out to a lounge, I met a guy who played about 10 different games. And of the 10, Leicester City was on all of his accumulation. There are the ones where every other game went through beside the Leicester City game, and that was very, very bad, very, very bad. I'm talking about 10 accumulators. I'm talking about 6 accumulators, 15 accumulators, and Leicester City was the only one that messed up all of his tickets. So you've got to do yourself a whole lot of favor. That's my little boy, my son. I'm recording from home. We're getting ready to go to church. It's pretty early. And you've got to do yourself a favor and stop putting the same teams, no matter how sure. It doesn't matter if it is Barcelona, Bayern Munich, or Real Madrid, or anything. Just make sure you avoid those mistakes in betting. That's one. Secondly, another thing we shouldn't do when we bet, it's not about making $1 million overnight. That's not it. Because in your business, in all of our work you do, whether you are oil explorer or anything, you don't make $1 million overnight unless you're a thief. You steal politically. So understand that there's something called systemic betting. Systemic betting is something I brushed with a few people the other day when I went somewhere to speak about betting. Now this is what systemic betting does. Imagine yesterday, Man City was playing. As crappy as it is, Manchester City, look very, very certain to win that game. You put a 10K on them. The odds were between 2.2 to 2.5, depends on which betting company you're using. You get about 12,500. It looks very, very small. But what you've gotten is that you've gotten interest on your 10,000. Now let's do the economics. Which bank do you know in the world that can give you 2,500 for 2 hours investment? There's no bank in the world. So getting 2,500 on 10,000 is not a bad bet. But people will not. You just want to see somebody win 1 million, 10 million overnight. Well, if that's your trade, I wish you good luck. I'm not advising those people. That's why I call this bet advice. It's not guarantee bet. It's bet advice. I'm guiding you. I'm advising you. I'm showing you the way. It's not just coming here, pump up games, and then you go and play. It's more than that. It's far, 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 far beyond that. So naturally, I need to tell you the things you need to avoid. You could do that, for instance, and every day you have a separate account where you take those 1 or 2 games, 1 or 2 games, 1 or 2 games, and you lump up the money. At the end of the month, you pack out your profits and put it in a savings account, and then you start again another month with that same 10,000 naira, and you're lumping up and lumping up and lumping up. Don't do accumulators. You could do 2, maybe of 3, but make sure you are on the safe zone. Don't get into the red line. Don't get into the red light district, because that's where we get problem. But let's start with today's games. Quite a few games are interesting and as well intriguing as the day goes by. So let's look at some games just might, tickle your fancy. Today in Wales, there's a game between the New Saints FC and Aberystwyth Town. New Saints would win. I'm not going to use the word guaranteed, but it looks somewhat a guaranteed game from my research. New Saints will win. In Ukraine, the Ukrainian Premier League, there's a game between Dynamo Kiev and Star Dnipro. Dynamo Kiev would win that one as well. Let's move away from Ukraine and go somewhere else. So we see other leagues in Switzerland. There is the Swisser Cup. So we have to look at those games. There's a game between FC Duliken and FC Chiasso. I think FC Chiasso would win that one. The game between BSC Old Boys and Grasshopper Club Zurich. Grasshopper would win that one as well. There's a game between FC Donoloy and FC Lamont LS. Lamont LS would win that one. So let's move down to the game between Servette Geneva playing against FC Breton-Rien. I think Servette Geneva would win that one. FC Basel will play against FC Rapperswil Jona. FC Basel would win that one. Lausanne Sports will play away to FC Grand Lancy. Yes, Lausanne Sports would win that one as well. And finally, Red Star Zurich will play against FC Basenhead. Red Star Zurich stands a very, very bright chance to win that one. And then you have FC Thun playing against SC Cranes. FC Thun would win that as well. Let's step out of Switzerland and go to Sweden. Yes, there's football in Sweden in the top division. There's a game between Kalmar FF and Malmö FF, and that game, yes, that's my son trying to deal with his TV. There's a game between Kalmar FF and Malmö FF. That game, kind of tricky, but it looks like a game that both teams will score. Jogadens IF will play against my former team, IF Elfsborg. I think I'll go with Jogadens to win this one. You know, a double chance on Jogadens to win this one. Yes, too bad. Sorry guys. I said that. If you guys are watching, I know you paid my salary some time ago, but let's just take it out. This is something different that I'm doing, and sentiment have to step aside. And let's move away from Sweden and go somewhere in the Russian Premier League. The Russian Premier League, there are not too many games that you can be sure, but I think the game between FC Anzi Machaskala and Arsenal Tula looks like a game that you can put a double chance on Anzi Machaskala to win or draw that game, or probably you say both teams will score. So let's step away from Russia and travel up, into Norway and see what's happening in the elite division in Norway. In Norway, there's a game between Rosenborg BK and Sogndal. And Rosenborg would win that one. Odds BK playing against Sarpsborg. Odds BK would win that one. And then there's the Storm Gosset and IK Start. Storm Gosset would win that one as well. Every other game there, I'm done with that. Let's move away from Norway, from the Norwegian League, and go up into mainstream Europe and find out a few games in Europe. You see, today I didn't start with the main game, and as the season progresses, we're going to be pushing the English League aside and be focusing on other leagues, because the English League is pretty much unpredictable. Now in Denmark, you've got the Odense BK playing against FC Nordsjælland. Odense BK would win that one. There's a game between Brøndby IF and Sonderjysk. Yes, Brøndby would win that one also. So let's move away from that league and travel up into the mainstream. Yes, European mainstream, I like to call it. There's a CAF Champions League game anyway. Before we go to the mainstream in Europe, there's a CAF Champions League between Wydad Casablanca and ASEC Mimosa. I think Wydad would win that one. And then there is the CAF Confederations Cup match between TP Mazembe and Medama. I think a double chance for TP Mazembe. They might get a draw in that game, or you could just stay away from it so you don't get yourself into trouble. And then let's look at the international friendly. Quite some tricky games that are difficult to call. FC Shaka 04 playing against Athletic Bilbao. Both teams will score. That's the safest bet in that game. The game between Heracles CF and Levante UD. It's another game that both teams could score. Then AC Milan playing against Freiburg, a double chance on AC Milan, that one. Celta Vigo playing against Eintracht Frankfurt, a double chance on Celta Vigo on that one as well. Let's move a little bit now into Belgium and see what's happening in Belgium. In Belgium, Standard Liège will play away to Zulte Waregem. I don't know, that game is too tricky to call, so let's stay away from it. KV Ostende playing against ROC Perues. KV Ostende would win that one. So let's move into Portugal and see what's happening in Portugal. Yes, Boavista playing at home against FC Aroca. Both teams to score in that game. Sporting Braga playing away to Victoria Guimarães. Yes, Sporting Braga have a double chance to win or draw that game. Now let's go to the Netherlands and see what's up with the Dutch league. Yes, in the Netherlands, Feyenoord are playing against 20 Oostende. Feyenoord would win that one. AZ Alkmaar playing away to PSV Eindhoven. It looks like a game that PSV Eindhoven will win, but I think both of them will score in this game. So I'm gonna go with both teams to score. Done with that. Let's go to the Coppa Italia for today. Yes, before then, let's look at the French Ligue 1. Olympique Marseille playing against Toulouse. Yeah, Olympique Marseille would win. That's the only one I will touch base with. AS Nancy, Olympique Lyon. I think it's a both team to score kind of game that we have over there. Let's look at the Coppa Italian. Yes, Sportiva Salernitana playing against SC Pisa. It's same of the same as far as I'm concerned. Let's look at the game between Sampdoria and Bassano Varus. Sampdoria would win that one. Hellas Verona playing against Crotone. A double chance on Hellas Verona. And in the Spanish Super Cup, you have Sevilla playing against FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona look likely to win, but do a double chance. Don't take too much risk on that one. Just do a double chance. If you put it in on accumulator, if you're doing a single game, then go full throttle with FC Barcelona. There's a game between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. It's the German Super Cup. Yes, you could go with Bayern Munich to win that one straight up. Now let's come to England, where you have Bournemouth, Manchester United. I put everything on Manchester United to win this game. Everything, yes, on Manchester United to win. They might not play beautiful, they might not be pretty, but Manchester United will win this game completely. Arsenal Liverpool is a no-no for me. Arsenal's got defensive problem. Liverpool's got their own defensive problem. Both teams, this is going to be a high-scoring game, so both teams to score. But who wins? I don't know. That's why I put a break to the bet advice this morning. It's pretty long. The season has started. A whole lot of leagues are up. That's why we're going to be breaking it into volumes when the other leagues start. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 for the same day, especially for the weekends. So I do wish you all good luck and have the very, very best of betting a Sunday. When we come back again on Monday, we'll see how it goes. Don't forget that Chelsea's got to play. And yippee! Nigeria in the semi-finals of the Olympics. Brazil are there. Germany is there also. And Honduras. So it's Brazil, Honduras, and Nigeria, Germany. Africa has only one representative, same as Europe. Let's see how it goes. But until then, good luck to you. My name is Adafi Esiogane Matthew. I just hope that I hear of more wins than losses. Sorry about the guy who had 15 accumulation. Everything went through except the highest game. I'm sorry about that. That's pretty painful. And those guys who put up Leicester City in all of their bets, sorry about that as well. Have a lovely Sunday. I've got to run now. Let me go to church.